don't blame yourself or blame your staff for the challenges that are beyond your control. And currently, the economic challenges are beyond your control. Your job is to focus on what's within your control, the things within your reach. That's how you feel, how you respond to the challenges. That's within your reach. What the challenges the economy you cannot respond to. The dollar will be dollar, price of food will be price of food.
Yeah.
When you reach there, don't be shocked and start crying. Just say, oh, okay, so this is it. And we'll just buy 2 tomatoes instead of 10 tomatoes we want to buy, and then we move on. That's just it. My book is out. So I've been bringing this since I brought it yesterday. I didn't remember to bring it out from my bag. So this morning, I was just so happy that as I opened my phone, somebody was like, send me the link to order.
You now remembered.
And I remember let me get the book and show it off on television.
Congratulations, darling.
It's been a long time.
We are coming.
So
well done.
Yeah, it's finally out. Thank you.
Such a big book.
It is. I'm scared. Because what did you put inside?
You need to study. It's for studying, right?
It's a study. There's
Hey,
action
God.
plan behind every chapter.
We will now have a book by the side where you are jotting things that you're learning. Is that the kind of book you wrote? Stop, but please don't stress me.
You have to act on what you are learning. And
Yeah,
I really want
well
this to
done.
be like a money manual.
So you can't tell us how much the book
Well
costs.
done.
I can tell you now.
Yeah, because I'm taking this one now.
Hey.
20K, baby.
I'm taking this one today. Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm working hard. People are seeing, I'm warning everybody I'm working hard because I'll rest hard when I'm done. Our sales are going to be starting on Monday, and we're running the sales till the end of the month. And we're slashing down prices like I always do when I do my sales for outfits, for skincare, and for hair. So please, you go on my page, send me a DM and buy my kits. I don't want to pack my things and go back to the village. Help your sister, okay? Yeah, I don't used to beg you people money. I don't want to ever beg you people money, so I'm hustling. So please, come shop and support my business. Let's take a short break now. When we come back, we do the newspaper reviews. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
With us. Let's start the newspaper reviews with The Nation. Major headline: Court nullifies Sanusi's return as Emir of Kano. Court voids 33 Ondo local government areas. Judgment anti-people. $550 million with better project will boost gas market, says federal government. Why I faulted police recruitment by IG. 21 deaths in 401 Lagos cholera cases. Abiodun allocates farmlands to Ogun lawmakers to enhance food security. What stories do we have in The Nation?
Yeah, I have the major headline. That's the Sanusi, court notifies Sanusi's return as Emir of Kano. And we all know that the emirs, they've been having issues, and because of that, during the Salah, even that our major Hawan Daba didn't even happen because of the clash between the two. So a ruling by the Federal High Court in Kano sank the emirate into more turmoil yesterday. Justice Muhammad Liman nullified the reinstatement of Muhammad Sanusi as the 16th Emir of Kano. While the judge did not invalidate the Kano Emirate Council, he held that actions taken so far on its basis were null and void due to the state government's failure to maintain the status quo as he ordered. But the state government swiftly interpreted the order to be in its favor. We all know that the governor reinstated Muhammad Sanusi as the Emir, and then he removed Bayero. They said he forcefully removed Bayero, and also he slammed them. They just slammed the state government for defying the order. And then, meanwhile, the governor on May 23rd abolished 4 new emirates, Bichi, Karaye, Rano, and Gaya, which were created by the immediate past administration of Abdullahi Ganduje. So this fight is between Ganduje and the present governor, kind of, and then Sanusi is coming into play and everything. So, but the governor, the judge finally said, I'm convinced that the respondents are aware of the order of maintaining status quo pending the hearing and determination of the motions on notice in the court.
We are waiting now.
Having been satisfied that the respondents are aware of the court in the exercise of its powers hereby sets aside all actions taken in violation of the order. So now, they have now decided that Sanusi is now the emir of Kano now, and then all other, the Ado and then those 4 have now been abolished.
Oh, okay.
So they said
at least
there
for
should
now.
be peace. Yes, for now there should be peace in Kano State.
Okay. Yeah. What are the stories?
I've got the cholera story, and unfortunately, they say the number of deaths from cholera has increased from 15 to 21 in Lagos State. They said that the cases of infections has also increased from 350 to 401. We have the special advisor to the Lagos State Governor on Health, Dr. Kemi Ogunyemi. She says that a lot of this had to do with the large gatherings during the Eid, and so that's why we're seeing that in the numbers. But they said that there hasn't been a lot of, suspected cases haven't been increasing amongst the local government areas, and they think it's because of government interventions that's been happening already. So they're, as we know, there's huge campaigns. We've been hearing about what we're meant to do and things like that. They also say they have intensified surveillance activities in communities, particularly those local governments that have been affected. They're constantly also collecting samples from food, beverages, water, just to be able so that they can identify the sources of the contamination. We have in Imo State, the House of Assembly has passed a motion that's calling the Ministry of Health to embark on massive awareness so that, to ensure that they say this is beyond just making the health ministry aware of it, but ensure that there are massive campaigns on the outbreak, and that these campaigns are carried out in the local government areas across the state through all social media platforms so that people are aware of what to do. In Cross River State as well, they have activated an emergency response team that will respond to any threat of cholera outbreak in the state. So, all states seem to be on alert of what's happening. And then we hope, we call this quickly before it becomes much worse than it already is. Too many lives have already been lost to cholera. We shouldn't be losing lives to cholera in 2024. Honestly, it's really sad.
Have a story?
So, yes, I'm taking the story about Dapo Abiodun, the governor of Ogun State, has said that in fulfilling the Renewed Hope agenda, he has given the 25 House of Assembly members farmland, so that they will contribute to the agricultural goals of Ogun State. So the 25 House of Assembly members, marking the 10th year of the 10th year anniversary of the legislature, the first year of this particular assembly, they've all been given farmland. They are expected by the governor that they would invest into agriculture, and it would help to fulfill the desire to make Ogun State the food basket, and that their contributions will make Ogun State be able to eat what they grow and grow on what they eat. And I think it's at first I felt like, no, why don't you support farmers by giving them more tools to do their farming process
on a larger scale?
But maybe by giving people that have money land and ensuring that they actually invest into it, we might see more farmlands. A lot of our military men back in the days have massive farmland, and it helped the agricultural goals as a country. So I'm hoping that we'll be seeing 25 massive farms in Ogun State that will be providing food for the people of Ogun State.
I even want to learn how to plant yams in my house. I've just not had time, but I'll
yes,
settle down
in
bags, yes, in my house, so that at least I can. A tube of yam is 5,000 naira.
Yes.
Very chekele yam like
Small,
that.
short.
Ondo State High Court sitting in Akure yesterday scrapped the 33 local council development areas, that's the LCDAs, created by the administration of the late former governor, Oluwarotimi Akeredolu. I said the creation was unconstitutional and illegal. Now, the presiding judge, Justice A.O. Adebusoye, said the LCDAs were not lawfully created. The judge described the LCDAs as inchoate and not lawfully created. And he said that it's illegal for a governor to sign a law outside the state. He said the Local Government Creation Law 2023 signed by the late Akeredolu in Ibadan outside the state was unconstitutional, illegal, null, and void. And September 9, 2023, that Akeredolu assented to the bill creating those 3 local governments. Now, the bill for the creation of the LCDAs was presented to the late governor by the Speaker of the House of Assembly, Chief Oladijo Olamide, during a ceremony at the governor's home in Ibadan. But the governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Agbola Ajayi, condemned the judgment. He said it was anti-people and will hinder the development of Ondo communities, that they want a situation where the government is closer to the people. Yeah. And now scrapping those local governments areas in that place will just, will increase the layers of government, and people are not able to reach their leaders, you know, for development. Let's see if we have time. Okay, we'll take a short break now. When we come back, the newspaper reviews continue. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
I'm Miriam Lunge. I'm a passionate environment advocate and a published author.
I am the founder of Celebration, a businesswoman, and a fashion icon.
I am a wealth coach and a real estate developer.
I am Amako Arakwe. I'm a corporate commercial lawyer and an entrepreneur.
Barkamu da warhaka. I am Ramatu Shehu Oyibo, an entrepreneur and a business coach.
I am the voice of an average Muslim woman, an hijabite, and a lawyer.
I am a polymath and a serial entrepreneur.
I am Murayo Afolabi Brown, Managing Director, TVC Entertainment. I'm a media consultant, producer, and broadcaster.
The ladies of Your View are made of women from different professions, tribes, cultures, and religion. Join us every Monday to Friday as we share our views on topical and social issues.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked, and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Welcome back. We are moving on to the Punch. Major headline: cholera. Death toll rises to 37 as Lagos records 401 cases. We've taken that story. Federal government probes 2.7 trillion naira subsidy debts and lists Auditor General. Naira slump loan push public debt to 121 trillion naira, the DMO. Protesters demand El Rufai's trial for alleged 423 billion naira theft. Lagos APC mourns member as Hajj death cross 1,000. Otedola raises FBNH stake with over 18 billion naira shares. What stories do we have in the point?
Federal government has begun the 2.7 trillion subsidy debt probe. So they say the federal government employed the services of KPMG to conduct an initial audit of 6 trillion owed to NNPCL as claimed by them. And, from that audit, they had reduced the claims from 6 trillion to 2.7 trillion. Anyways, let me just give you a little background. They said on May 30th, we remember hours after the subsidy gone declaration by the president, we had NNPCL Group Chief Executive Officer Mele Kyari. He had said that NNPCL had footed petrol subsidy bills from its own cash flow, and that so far government has been unable to pay back the 2.8 trillion. And so that was when government now decided to audit, and they say that that they've had a meeting, they had a FAC meeting, and so from the result of that meeting, they will let us know what they have come up with. But first of all, the initial claims of 6 trillion has been reduced to 2.7. So they will do all that audit, and then we'll find out exactly how much is owed NNPCL. And then government needs to also start discussing how they would pay back for that. So forensic audit is going on.
I don't believe they are owing them. Which other stories do we have?
So I have the Lagos APC Mons member as Hajj debts cross 1,000. And Laseki, the Lagos chapter of APC has described the death of Welfare Secretary Alhaja Ramota Bankole as unfortunate and shocking. So yeah, when you go for Hajj, they said the heat there was so much, and they say, they give visas to a lot of people. There are a lot of people that come together.
It's very crowded.
I remember when I went for Hajj, my legs were practically not touching, they were not touching the ground. I was walking, like I'm telling you, because of how, crowded the place is and all. So yes, they are describing her death, and it's unfortunate. May her soul rest in gentle.
Amen. So we have a story?
Yes, I have the story of FUNAB students protesting the death of their colleagues. So the stories inside the papers, Ayodele, who died, his death has led many of his fellow students to storm the campus on Thursday, and they were demonstrating over the fact that the medical center within the school is not in good condition. Some of the students, on condition of anonymity, said that the deceased treatment was delayed by the healthcare officer on duty because they could not provide identity card. Said that the protest was, they are staging this protest to advocate a better structure and restructure the healthcare system on campus. Said the staff are negligent and their attitude is very irritating, that they will not attend to emergencies, that the boy got there at 1 p.m., but he didn't get any treatment until 6:50. He was proclaimed dead by 10 p.m. that same day, and it was because he didn't take his ID card along, yet it was an emergency situation, and that they're advocating for change. That this is the third time it is happening, that it's been reoccurring, that people will be, that the negligence and poor service being rendered within the university, that's FUNAB, has led to loss of lives, and the school students are protesting that they want to protest against this poor service. They want Ayodele's death to signify a major change in how they will be taking care of that. He was unconscious when he was taken to the hospital. You're asking someone that is unconscious, not feeling too well, that he should bring his ID card. When his friend supposed to bring his ID card, and then
this thing is
later they found out that it was dead because the treatment didn't come in time. So
first, the friends can go back and want to look for his ID card. Why we?
They might also feel concerned that some other young people are coming into the school to get treated without being students of the school. But
that's not the case.
Yes, recently there's a friend of mine. There's a case where they took someone who was stabbed to the hospital, and nobody has been able to pay the bill. So he's in the hospital. The hospital has treated him,
but
nobody's coming to pay the bills. So this is what the hospital feel like they have to deal with all the time. But please.
Life first.
Life first.
Yes.
Okay, let's move on now to the Vanguard. A major headline, cholera, we've taken that death toll, hits 21 in Lagos, 401 cases recorded. Rivers crisis, siege to local government areas won't deter us, for Bara. Insecurity, jihadists flooding Nigeria through Benin Republic. 423 billion naira indictment. Protesters march in Kaduna want EFCC's probe of El Rufai. Kano government kicks as court removes Sanusi Emir. Federal government seeks 18-month extension of $800 million World Bank palliative scheme. What stories do we have in the Vanguard? So I took a story inside. That's the Kaduna police. They said the police operatives in Kaduna State have arrested 5 notorious kidnapping suspects, a suspected car thief, and recovered a Toyota Land Cruiser. The State Commissioner of Police has ordered continued clampdown on kidnappers and their informants in the state. The spokesperson of the State Police Command, Mansir Hassan, in a statement yesterday said that about 6:10 p.m., the divisional police officers, DP of the Maigana, received an intelligence from a concerned citizen regarding a group of kidnappers planning to collect ransom money from the relatives of their victim. So they acted swiftly and mobilized the patrol team and some members of the local vigilante group to the location. The operation resulted in successful arrest of the suspects, and they mentioned their names: Shuaibu Bala, 23 years old, from Malanta Gimba village. Another guy, Musa, 22 years old, male, from Bugal village. And, during the interrogation, they said they confessed to the crime, and investigations are ongoing to apprehend other members of their gang. Also, in continuation of the ongoing clampdown on kidnappers and their informants within Kaduna State, they also achieved another significant breakthrough. This was the 17th of June. It said they acted on credible intelligence received by the DPO of Tafa, and they said some kidnappers were sighted roaming around Tafa town. So about, 7 p.m., the DPO mobilized his men and surveillance team. They went into the place with the Joint Task Force of Tafa, and they were able to apprehend 3 suspected kidnappers. They brought them to the station. They may also mention their names: Sani Amadu, male, 17 years, Sani Lawal, 20 years, Ali Usman, 22 years. So I mentioned their ages for us to understand how things have really degenerated. These are young people who should be in school.
Yes. Honestly, we should also start arresting bandits that are disturbing the tomatoes, pepper, and everything.
I need to take the story of teenager protesting against sexual harassment in Ogun State. So it's within the papers where teenagers between 11 and 17 years in the Magboro, Obafemi Owode local government area of Ogun State, preteens and teens protested that sexual harassment is not a compliment. That when they are walking the streets, men would grab them, pull them, and this is not a form of compliment. And I remember this happening to me as
Growing
well.
up.
It was a norm when if you are on the street, boys and men would touch you. And he said that the organizer of this particular protest was saying that the reason they're doing it is because he has gotten a lot of feedback from girls within that area that they are not free to walk. So they wore white T-shirts and were working to say that the government needs to step up and speak against this and even find a way to deter boys, men on the streets from touching. There must be a punishment because harassment. How do we process harassment against people on the streets? If you are very voluptuous in terms of shape, you are more prone to that attack and harassment. Please, let's do something about this.
Do we have stories in the Tribune?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so let me quickly take the stories we haven't taken. Court nullifies creation of 33 local government areas in Ondo State. We've taken that. Government kidnap pregnant woman in Ogun. We've taken that. Sanu Nasu give federal government 2 weeks to pay 4 months with health salaries. Is that what you have?
Yes, that's what I have. So the Joint Action Committee of the Non-Academic Staff Union of Educational and Associated Institutions, NASU, SANU, have threatened that they will shut down universities and inter-university centers if the government fails to pay their withheld salaries at the expiration of the 2 weeks ultimatum they have sent. They said that they wish to express their regret and dismay that up to date their salaries have been withheld, not paid to their members, and there's been a silence. Nothing has been said, just silence. So from the stories that they've been, they've had series of meetings back and forth, agreements, whatever, and then silence. And so they view this as an act of insincerity and neglect on the part of government. And that, this has been causing lots of contention amongst them, You know how we can be now. Somebody don't chop money. That's why. And so they're saying, they're asking that immediate payment of 4 months' salary that has been withheld to their members to be paid within 2 weeks from the date of this particular letter. And if nothing is done at the expiration of their ultimatum, they're shutting down universities and entering university centers. Yes, they are not ASU, but we know how important their role is at the universities. So please, listen to them and pay them their money. What's happening?
All right, ladies, that's all we can take on the newspaper reviews. When we return, we look into the top stories of today. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table.
I'm Miriam Lunge. I'm a passionate environment advocate and a published author.
I am the founder of Celebration, a businesswoman, and a fashion icon.
I am a wealth coach and a real estate developer.
I am Mama Sophia Momodu. I'm a corporate commercial lawyer and an entrepreneur.
Thanks for staying with us. It's Celebrity Friday, and we like to get stories of celebrities so we can share with you and get some lessons from their experiences. So Davido has sued his first baby mama, Sophia Momodu, at the Lagos State High Court to seek custody of their daughter, Imadi. Singer requested the court grant joint custody of the 9-year-old and an order of unrestricted access to his daughter. And Davido also claimed that the 37-year-old, that's the mother now, rejected a 200 million naira apartment in a gated community with a swimming pool and 24-hour power and water supply in Oniru, Victoria Island, Lagos, which he had purchased for the proper care of Imadi. He said she rejected the offer to stay and live at a secured Oniru apartment, which had already been purchased, but demanded that I continue to pay 5 million naira annually for a rented facility at his contribution towards the daughter's accommodation. These and many more is what we're going to be discussing today. Now, the question is co-parenting impossible? You can join the conversation and call us on 081-2705-3687, or you can also tweet us at TVC Connect using the hashtag Your View TVC. So ladies and mental gens, this co-parenting thing we're talking about. First of all, we'll, analyze this particular one, then pack it, and now go into co-parenting proper. But when you heard the story, what came to your mind? That someone has offered to give you a house, well furnished, I'm sure, everything you have inside, just so that the daughter can have a semblance of a good life, and you are insisting on being in a rented apartment. What do you think about that?
So as we know, Davido is a very touchy topic because of his
minions.
Oh, well.
His fans.
His fans. So I'm going to be very careful. Anything I say is no malicious intent. But, one thing with situations like that is that they are so messy, so sad, because the person that really suffers is the child.
Yeah.
But, given that this is a court case, and we have just heard from Davido, he seems to be like the victim here. He seems to be like, see, I'm a great dad. I'm a great co-parent. I'm providing. Not only have I bought this really expensive house that has all these facilities for my child, which she would enjoy because she's the mother, I'm having to also cough out these millions of naira in rent when she could just stay in a house like that. But the truth is, what is the reason, until we hear from her, but I'm thinking, what are the reasons that a woman will insist on staying in a different place? So one, could it be that there have been issues before where he has given her something and has pulled it out from under her because, he owns it, so she may want to protect herself that way and say, no, make your contributions, this is where I'm staying. Or does she have a job that requires her to stay at a certain place? And then that particular house that you provided will be inconvenient for job and schooling. But he also said that that's the one I find very worrying, where he says he provided a car, a Range Rover, of course, as we know, really expensive, nice car, and that the school contacted him because his daughter had not been in school for 2 weeks. And when he asked the mother said it's because the car was faulty. That's why his daughter had not been in school for 2 weeks. And because of that, he gave another car. And he felt that if he had not even asked, if the school had not contacted him, he wouldn't have known. So still his own version
of the story.
So, exactly. So for me is co-parenting, we need to find a set of rules and laws so that people can follow that for better co-parenting. Because the way that we do it in Nigeria is really, based on goodwill. Your child is here. You do this, I do this. And then depending on who has craze and who does not have craze, it either works or does not work. If the person is, both parties are decent people,
they make it work.
Yes, they try and make it work. They understand and recognize that the person that's important in this relationship right now is the child. Everything else we will put aside. But God help you, if one or both parties no grief or nobody, then you have issues like that back and forth. And then almost like waiting for one person to make a mistake so that you can pay back, or use the child herself or himself to, cause problems. So I feel that co-parenting can work if both parties are in an agreement, but because of how much we see that there's contention during this thing, I think we should start drawing up laws to say, you do this, you do that, you do this, you do that, and then it will make for an easier, hopefully, an easier, relationship.
Ramatu?
Yeah, so the way Davido presented the case, to me, it looks like exploitation. Like he's trying to say she's trying to exploit him because, of course, he's a wealthy celebrity and all. But for co-parenting, I think that there has to be, there has to be rules. It has to be stated. It has to be written out for both parties to agree. I know there's this somebody I know that had a son that goes to one popular school here in Lagos. They're doing this co-parenting thing, and both of them will go. This person will go for this visiting, the other person will go for this thing like that. They decided to put him in boarding school. There was a time then, okay, this person will go pick him up and bring him back home during the holidays. He'll stay throughout the holidays with her and all. There was a time the father just went, picked up the child, and traveled up and disappeared. Up till today, they have not seen that. She has not seen that child, and she has not seen the dad.
See?
So all this co-parenting thing needs to be written out, stated properly so that both parents can know. Yes, it is. Parents can know what's it's obtainable and also. But to me, for him to give her a house What 200 million? Just like Miriam said, we don't know why she turned it down.
The house, yeah.
So we really need to hear from her so that we can know what her story is.
For me, I feel that Davido has done what I feel is the right thing to do. There's no need for social media to come and start bad-mouthing or quarreling when there's a court, and the court is supposed to help to define the level of relationship and the level of commitment each person should have. Up for the past 9 years, they've been trying to use their own common sense to decipher how they will relate with one another and the child. And according to Davido, it hasn't worked out for him to have a good relationship with his daughter. So since me trying to relate with common sense and relate with your good conscience and my good conscience so far, let's go to court. Let the court give us 2 weeks custody, holiday here, holiday there, and we both know this is clearly defined. Because this wasn't a case of divorce. This was a baby mama case. So they really didn't have to use. Typically, if it was a marriage, we got married and we went through a divorce, at the point of divorce, there will have been a conversation regarding how the child in this case will be taken care of. But there wasn't any. So this was a case of you tell me you got pregnant. I say, no, I don't believe it is my child. Later, now I confirm it's my child through DNA.
So they went through that.
Yes, they went through that. So they've gone through a whole lot. And there's a case of, you want a relationship. Right in the beginning, she wanted a case of, we would have a relationship based on this child. And he's saying, I don't want a relationship. And so there was estrangement. Then there was reconciliation. Right. Then they are now back to, okay, let's create a payment structure of you. Not the child. Because at first it was like, he's not paying any bill. And she tends to come to social media to come and report this situation. Okay. She has reported on Snapchat, she has reported on Instagram. She's always been the one that reports the situation and painting it like Davido is not a responsible father, which I'm sure is why, in this case, is detailing how he has been taken care of. Because at first it was like, we're not paying any bills. And I want to pay. You are not the one allowing me to pay because you're saying we are not in each other's life. So they've had a lot of drama and it's been a bit messy. And Davido he's not a small boy anymore. He's 31. So there are things you would do when you are 27, 28, 29 that it will be accepted. But now I'm sure he's trying to. Just recently he did traditional marriage with Chioma. So he's trying to create a more structured life. And I think it is okay to want to do that. I also think that parents must be more selfless when it comes to their children. Whatever the man has done to you, whatever he does on the outside, no matter how bad the things are that he has done, your job is to ensure that your child has a wholesome picture of that man. Because whether you like it or not, that man is the child's father. Yeah. So I feel a lot more maturity needs to come to play. A lot of trauma needs to heal, especially as I can feel for Sophia, because Sophia is looking at herself, and here I have a 9-year-old daughter and see the father gallivanting around the world, singing songs for the love of his life. Like life is looking good on that side, and I'm having to cope with this. So I think there might be trauma, and there might be that sense of little bitterness. Let me just qualify. It looks like a little bitterness, which might rub off on how you will be relating with the father of your child. So there is need for therapy. And it's normal. You are a human being. There are feelings you have. You must acknowledge it. Book a session with BC. Let's have a conversation to help you put things in perspective, have a wholesome view, so that you will see yourself for the amazing person that you are, Sophia, and a mother to this girl, and you can raise her to have a balanced relationship with you and with the...
We have a caller.
Going to court, I totally agree.
Monisola from K2, are you still there? Sorry for keeping you.
I'm on the video side.
Monisola, good morning.
Well done for a very good job.
Good morning, sir.
Concerning the issue of co-parenting, if it is possible, yes, it's very, very possible, particularly now that he is going to court.
Okay. There is
a law in Lagos State, child rights law, where we talk about custody and access. And as an extension, there can be a co-parenting. Of course, because of the age of that girl, the court might decide that she stay with the dad with the mom from Monday to Friday. Then from Friday, Saturday, Sunday evening, stay with the dad. I don't think it should be a problem. Whether Sophia wants or she doesn't want, if there is a law like that on custody and access, custody and access in Lagos State, that there is a law, child rights law of Lagos State stipulated all that and how it can be guided. So now that the video is going to court, I think it will surely get that. On the issue of the house, just like the first speaker said, we don't know the conditions that are attached to it, but I don't think any woman will throw away such, opportunity. But we don't know the conditions that are attached to that gift. In quotes, maybe the name is seen in the name of Davido or whatever. And the guy is like, I don't think I can hold on to this kind of agreement until, as the other lady said, until when Sophia speaks and we know our mind. But I believe, of course, she's bitter. So it's so clear that she's bitter. But
yeah. So okay, wanted to.
Really, for me, Davido is a responsible. He's a responsible dad. He comes across as a responsible dad because situations like this we've seen a lot, and most times the men neglect the woman because they are not married. So he will neglect her, and he won't even bother taking care of the child and all. But he is looking out and trying to contribute and make her life better. So she should look at the positive part of it and at least just, calm down. The cost is actually so much. Yeah. It's a lot.
Well. So I know a couple of friends that are co-parenting.
Okay.
And I know some of their issues. So let me see without revealing too much. Okay, so let's give an example of a Davido now. He provides a house, he provides car.
Yeah.
But who provide, in his own case, there is maybe fully paid for, but let's say it was rent. Who provides electricity bills? Who provides water bills? So that's what I hear a lot of them say. That yes, the just big bills, but the running, the everydayness of parenting is expensive. Yeah. And sometimes because you think you have paid for the big ticket ones, you think you've done so much. And yes, people are able to point, oh, see where they are living, see the car they are driving. Yeah. But the fueling of the car every day, she goes to school. We know Mondays to Fridays. Well, how about the extracurricular activities I have to take the child for? It's on. Yes, we understand, but so that it does not look like this is. It does not look like only the father is a responsible father. Yeah. I'm trying to say that sometimes there are some things that are quite intangible that you can't put down
but
and
say, heavy.
Yes, but they are quite heavy as well. And so those are some of the things I hear a lot of co-parents, especially on the mother's side. Yeah. On the mother's side, the parenting, everyday parenting, there's a cost to it. It takes away time, effort. That's the one that affects your mental. You have to give in your mental. A man can be away where he is living his life, chasing his dreams, having a second or third family, but you have to every day be there parenting. So you find that where someone may come across as bitter, it's not because they are bitter, it's that I'm the one actually taking the burden of this parenting. Child, when the child is ill, when the child is ill, I'm the one that stays throughout the night with this child, rush to the hospital in the morning, they have to get to work, they have to come back, they have to make food, So sometimes what I hear is the men don't see that or appreciate and acknowledge that. What they would say is, look at all the things I've provided.
I've done for you.
And for us, especially if also you are not from that same economic bracket, you're thinking, hey, 200 million, that will change my life. But in their own circle, that is just what they do. That is maybe less than 10% of whatever it is that he owns. He's able to give of it freely. Sure. So what is he doing beyond providing these big ticket items in involvement of
Let me take this call, Miriam, before I answer you. Because some people are even wishing that they can provide this big one for them. Ade from London. Good morning, Ade.
Good morning. I need an apology. You have been holding me up, only my pound sterling.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I didn't hear.
My contribution to this is that it's okay. The lady should better take the opportunity now to be in good relationship. With Davido, in order agreeing for him to have access to his daughter, because not every man will do what Davido wants to do. Anthony Joshua has a baby mama, his son. He bought the property for them. They are living fine. So I don't know why this lady is refusing. Maybe Davido cannot marry her by force. So she should know that and get that clear. There are a lot of baby mama in Nigeria. Two-face baby mama. They are all happy. So she should just take whatever Davido give her. And so for them to be comfortable and for the future of that daughter. So she allows Davido to take care of the daughter so that she can have education and better life. That's my advice to get. Don't force yourself for a man to marry you. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you. God bless you too, sir. So, This matter, it's very close to home because I've been opportune to see a lot of people, family, friends, who have been in this situation. And I always, because of that, my growing up, I always told myself that if anything happens and I have a child, I should be prepared to take care of that child outside my wedlock. Yeah. I have a child outside wedlock. It's nobody's fault. I should be ready to take care of that child, whether there is a man who's supporting me or not. Because it was my choice to keep the baby. I could have removed it. That's on one hand. There are people also who have lost their husbands. There are people who it happened and the man disappeared. They take care of their children. So I'm not saying you shouldn't demand, you know, when the man is present, but in your head, understand that you decided to birth this child under this circumstance. You could have waited for them to put a ring on your finger before birthing the child, because I've seen situations where somebody just targets somebody and feels, once I have a child for this person, and they do that to a lot of celebrities, once I have a child for this person, my ticket away from poverty. And then they stay there without doing anything to help that child, just trying to see what they can get from this person. Shebi, I have a child for you. You should kill yourself for me because I have a child for you. So I want to take it away from those people, right? I'm not saying this is the case, but I'm just saying there are different cases in a woman's head where this can happen. I've seen other people who, the man is big. The man doesn't care about the child, and they don't have issues with it. It's my child. They move on with the child. Now, the problem I have is when it gets to a point where, except the man is a madman or he's a crazy man, right? It gets to a point where you now start restricting access for the man to see his child. I personally have a problem with that because I'm in Africa and I believe that it's the man that owns the child in Africa. If we're in Ghana now, we will say it's the woman, maternal, you know, their owner. This is patriarchy. The man owns the child. And it will be unfair that you birth a child with a man and then you are restricting access to the child. So he has to pass through this hurdle for him to see his child. I feel it's very, very unfair. So I'm just saying that women can take care of their children. I have a very close friend today that the man na deadbeat. They don't even see him collect chicken. And you imagine, you know, I remember chicken. He sent chicken one Christmas. This after I'm telling you, after he has abandoned this woman for over 5 years without dropping a kobo. He doesn't know the school the children are going to. He doesn't know their healthcare. He knows nothing. He just called her one Christmas. We have chicken. Oh, come and take chicken and cook for the children. And she was asking, where's the pepper that we used to cook the chicken?
So now you
where's the salt that we used to...
Okay, so when they married, this one they are married.
Exactly
what you said, yes.
I didn't just answer something that BC had said earlier, you know, and it's a reflection of what the caller even said. The caller was saying that, this is like, because Davido is responsible, Sophia should be grateful rolling on the floor. Because there are many irresponsible men, and the fact that there are many men that do not handle their responsibility doesn't mean that the person who has done it now has done something, you know, like it's like one-eyed man is the king
land of the blind.
The land of the blind. I feel that, yes, I'm grateful for what you've done, but it's not like, he's a responsible man because everybody else is not responsible.
Thank you.
He's just doing what any reasonable man should do. Every man should be responsible.
Yes.
So the irresponsible ones are the ones we should be trolling and calling them out. Not that we should now be applauding and saying no. I think it's not the way we call have been saying it. Like, she's not being grateful. She should be this way and that way. No. So Sophia also, you know, we need to be careful what we put online because whatever you put online, people can always refer to it later. Because some years back she had mentioned she wished that her daughter carried her name. And in case of, because I'm the mother, I'm the one playing mother and father, it should just bear my name and not bear Davido's name. So there are some things she has put out there that connotes bitterness and connotes that there is
she's Yoruba, right?
Them. Yes,
because if it's in Igbo culture, that child is not Davido's child. Though.
Exactly.
Once you don't marry the mother.
Exactly. She's Yoruba. So
the child is yours.
Obviously, they had already put the child in Davido's name, and then she's suddenly regretting the fact that this child, I'm the one doing mother, father role. So it's when you keep going online and putting things out there, you are going to, it will come back even when they are going to court now. All of it will show up.
Yes,
all of those are
evidence
against Sophia, that you are actually holding back your daughter and all of that. And finally, this house that they are saying that Davido bought, Davido should please tell us, is the house in Davido's name or was the house in the name of Sophia?
Which name would you have preferred it? The house
is supposed to be in Sophia's name.
I think Mariam. Which one is supposed to be? And maybe he's not ready to give the child. The child is still a baby. You can put your name later. You can buy it in his name.
But she's saying
I have a problem with him buying it.
And she says I can't stay in that house.
That you bought in your name. Oh, wow. Let me take Festus, then I come to you so you can give me your full gist. We have Festus. Good morning, Festus.
Good morning.
Your life, sir.
Good morning.
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you. Now, I give kudos to that lady. Yes, you people, you are talking as if Davido has done something extraordinary. Having somebody out of wedlock or sleeping around is a bad thing, whether you are in Africa or anywhere you may be. Okay. Sleeping around is a bad something. Okay. Now, when you want to date somebody and you know you are not protecting, so you know what is going to come out, and the lady comes to say, okay, I am pregnant. You know you subjected her to mental torture when you say no to that child. Because you were moving with somebody you cannot trust. And then you now take her to DNA. That means the trust is not there. But you are ready to sleep. So the lady is already passing through certain trauma. And having, carried on for so many years now you have accepted. You are now showing with money because you have the money. I give kudos to that girl. Yes, the girl is not carried away by what is on ground. And then, how will that girl continue to see other men if you are living in Davido's house? Because since you are not going to marry her, she should be free to accept other men who may come for marriage proposal. Can she bring men to that same house? Or will she be living in a house where she cannot attend to visitors? You are not thinking in that direction because somebody has got 200 million this year and is taking away your freedom.
Also, I know of a particular story, and that's something where if the ex is the one paying for the house or the one that owns the house, and this is a person that is not in a relationship with you anymore, the person allowed to have relationships in your house, you are more likely to say, I paid the rent, or I paid for this house, I don't want to see any man in this house. Uncle, but we're not in a relationship. So maybe these are some of the reasons that we see. So you see, when it comes to situations like this, these baby mama conversations, is that especially when it's a baby mama to a wealthy person, it's easy to forgive the wealthy ex because he has provided house, car, he's traveling, everything. But we forget that there's a lot more that happens in relationships. There are other things that need to be provided for. And whatever it is that the baby mama provides is not seen as a big deal because we can't see it. It's not in our faces every day. And so we treat it as if, Madam, he's doing you a favor. Be grateful. We say all the things I mentioned earlier. This is like, is she not the parent? She should provide for it. Is he not a parent? Shouldn't he provide for also those intangible ones? But we forgive him because he has given all the big things. And then we just expect only her to be able to do the intangibles. It requires both parents
to work together.
We're not saying it requires marriage. We're saying it requires both parents. And if we can acknowledge you and praise you for the big ticket items, we should acknowledge the woman and praise her for those other things. Because for her to be able to do this, imagine if Davido had a concert somewhere and it was Imade's day to be sports day. And she says, I want my daddy there.
Your daddy has a concert.
No, listen. If, and we're doing, you do this, you do this, and it's his day to be at the sports place. Is it not relationships? Knowing the intangible? Is it not the woman that that they'll come together and say, I have a concert somewhere? What if we insist that there's a law here? You will leave your concert and come for sports day? No, she will be there for you. Yeah. So if she can do that for you and why can't we acknowledge her for those sacrifices?
Yeah.
And that's why I find, and I don't like this baby mama thing that we refer to the woman as,
complicated.
if we don't refer to the man as baby daddy. I don't like it. It's, yes, I know that exists, but I'm saying that the moment you put that baby mama on the person, you're already saying this person that is not, is
moral,
does not deserve respect.
Morals, yeah.
Does not deserve. She should be grateful for any good thing that she gets. Everything that she gets is a favor to her. And so because of that, nothing, that is decent should be expected of her. She should not even have any requests. And so that's why we need to be careful. Now we're talking, so remove the baby mama. When we have these conversations, we're talking
with a child,
about two parents and their role in the life of their children.
Yeah, so I like where you went to.
I think currently we are kind of like deviating from the current realities on ground. Religiously and culturally, that child is not recognized in the family. You understand? Because she was born out of wedlock.
Okay. Whose culture?
Religiously and culturally, Nigeria.
No, culturally, in the Yoruba culture,
you have children.
She can have, they are recognized. Yes.
In Igbo culture, the child is the mother's.
Is the mother's child.
Because there's no dowry on the mother's head.
Exactly. So if they are not recognized, so to me, he's doing her a favor for even trying to. Culturally. So he's doing her a favor by even coming out and saying, okay, I want to take part in this, I want to do this, I want to do that. And aside that, he complained of the fact that she wants to be collecting $800 for the nanny. The nanny that takes care of her.
Yes.
And that's too much.
Why is it too much? You don't live, you're not, sorry. Why is it too much? If it is something that is average or it's something that is
for one child,
for that lifestyle. For that lifestyle, if you come from a certain socioeconomic group, there are some things that they do that you may not understand.
Yeah, because
their children own the most expensive phones, and it's nothing to them because it's less than 1% of their income.
Yeah.
So that amount, so that's why I feel it's very unfair for some of us to even be discussing this thing because we will never get it. Because in my mind, already you should just be happy and grateful. But if you live in that space, there's a way
there's a lot to maintain.
There's a lifestyle that is maintained. There's a sort of nanny that they get. So she may not get the sort of nannies that we get. And this is something that he also wants for his child. So to put the amount out, it would be like she's asking for much more.
Too much, yes.
Meanwhile, that's something that is normal.
But let me say something. So because you're living in... So let me use someone close to me, for example. So she's co-parenting. And the child, till today, the child is 10, does not know that the parents are not together. And this man left when she was 2. They are co-parenting perfectly. So in the child's head, daddy is working in another country, and he comes from time to time. And when daddy comes, he comes to visit. Yes, he comes to visit. Daddy doesn't sleep. But she doesn't get that. He comes to visit, he does the school runs, he takes her out, blah, 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 that period that he's around, and then he goes back to work, right? So when I was having a conversation, I said, when are you going to tell? He said, after the 10th birthday, I will now explain to her that we're not together. They still go on vacation together. She just stays in her room, he stays in his room. The child does not know. Perfect co-parenting. The child still feels, and what she also did was to make sure that no guy comes to the house.
Good.
So you can stay in that house that Davido provided for you and date outside. Yes. You don't have to bring the man to the house.
Is that what is expected of Davido?
No. Leave Davido. He's already married now.
Before he married.
No. Davido is already married. Some men will not bring a woman home except they are ready to marry for the sake of their children. So the conversation. No, listen now. The conversation now is not caring for the child. You don't just bring several people to the house. You are confusing the child.
Yes.
So leave the man alone. Now you get belle. Now you choose to get belle. You can remove that pikin if you don't want.
I'm telling you.
Now you choose to get belle. Yes. So for the sake and sanity of a growing child, you cannot present. There was somebody who came, a family member who was coming to my house, and the first time I brought one girl. I hosted them, and the second time he was planning to bring another girl. I warned him. I said, don't bring different girls to my house where my children will be asking questions. Who is this auntie again? So as a woman, you have left. It's not working. We're co-parenting and all of that. For the sanity of your children, till they get to a certain age where they will understand, don't bring the a boyfriend home. It's not about him now, whatever he chooses to do, right? That's on him. Your responsibility as a mother is to protect your child to the best of your ability. That when your child is in your care, right? And that's why some women will say, I don't want my child going to this man's house, especially if it's a randy man, where there are different women coming into the house. They know what they are doing. So that is not an excuse. You can date who you want to date. When they are now ready to marry you, they come and marry you away from the child. Are they person house? I meet boyfriend. We marry me today. Now another boy house a day. Meet her. You don't mean anything. Wait, so you not stop anything. Secondly, I've learned to manage my expectations of people, so I don't break my heart. Even if he has billions and he does not want to give me, I will manage what I have and raise my child to the best of my ability and raise the child in love. Tomorrow the child can decipher that daddy was good or daddy was bad. It's not me that will say it. So she can manage her expectation. I'm not saying she's demanding too much. Of course not. But even in that, she can take care of this child.
So could it be that
my opinion, personally,
she might not have allowed Davido have so much access to Sophia, because we see Davido's social media
lifestyle,
posts, lifestyle, and we see that lifestyle, and we're saying, I really might not want my child to be around this person, because maybe you might be the father, but you are not. Your lifestyle does not depict that you've made the sacrifice necessary to be a father to my daughter, to my own daughter. You might be a father to other people's own, and they like it, but the way you're living, the drinking, the all of that,
for my child,
different people coming to say that you are their mother, baby mama, and all of that, and maybe I might give you my daughter for one day, and there are 3 women all over you, throwing you all sorts, the party, everything that gets to happen around celebrities and stardom. Sophia might say, I might not want my child to be exposed to that. And that at such a young age, she's still 9.
But he was a singer when he met her.
No, but what
when
I'm
you become
saying,
a mother,
what
life
you
changes.
require of the mother, that you're saying she should put her child first, even the way she did,
and also
required of the father. So it's not enough for us to say, she's the mother, she decided to carry it, she should have left. You are a father, you decided to have the child. So you must,
decide, but
the child is here, then you must act like a father. I just don't, I hear what you're saying, but many times when I hear that point of view, it's the mother that is expected to do everything without, the father expecting to do the same. So for me, I feel that when I have these conversations, I want to also point out to the men that you also have the responsibility to do that. Many women have carried the burden of sort of protecting the child, making the sacrifices. But remember, as I said, those are still seen as intangibles. We don't see that. All these things that you described that she should have done, when Davido or anyone else is putting in the court papers, they will only put the big names, the big cars, the big whatever that they've done. Nobody will say, do you know I sacrificed even my dating life? Some people say, my dating life, because I just did not want my child to be exposed to those things.
Social
we don't
life,
think that's important enough. She can't write it down on the list of things that need.
No, she has to start writing it down, because if it's abroad, they will speak. They will pick it out.
You will still call and say, hey, are you not the mother? Is that not what you're supposed to do?
Let's take a short break here. When we come back, the conversation continues. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have...
So let me go and look for my jam results.
My 20 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show. I can go. That's all we can take. Ejeki, close the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, #1 unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for #1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back? You should start the gym to get fat.
Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference? There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying.
So pole dancer, you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, it's the empowerment for me.
Sex can make your relationship better.
No. Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too.
Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the person that used to us? What is his name?
That woman.
Bam! Bam! Yeah,
Today we'll go here.
Hey!
Let's get talk now.
I'm sure we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay tuned. TVC Entertainment for pure entertainment.
Thanks for staying with us. So we have a message from YK. She's watching the show this morning.
Okay, she says, ladies, I want to talk from personal experience. I hope you can read this.
Yeah, read it.
I have said
Just
it on
share the story.
Okay, I've said it on the show several times. I wanted to battle my ex till my lawyer spoke to me. He said, and I quote, "A child is not a chattel." So I came down from my high horse and went to appeal to my ex. We came to a compromise. It wasn't easy, but each time we wanted to fight, one of us would come down and think of the child. The child is a human being and deserves the best from both parents. Let both parents think of the child.
Yeah, amazing. So I personally feel that when you put the child's needs first, there are some things that you will not fight over. Even when you feel like it's not coming, you can hold space for your partner, or your other partner, till they are able to realize themselves, right? So instead of going all out, full blown, no, I no go agree, I no go agree. I no go agree, I no go agree. You now understand that this person is not there mentally, emotionally, where I expected him to be. Because before you open leg, you suppose don't expect you and the person did.
Why are you whispering on TV?
You and the person, they're almost on the same level. But unfortunately, you now realize that you and this person don't be on the same level in terms of emotional capacity, in terms of considering one another. You are not on the same level. And you will see it play out, especially when a third party comes in, your child or other family. You will just see some of these things. Then you hold space for that person. I've seen women, and it's not like I'm excusing the men, right? It is bad behavior to have a child and you're not thinking of that child. I do not excuse it in any way at all. Growing up now, they used to come and steal us from school sometimes when, and there was this family.
You did not finish that sentence.
Don't leave it.
Okay.
I remember I'm not supposed, I don't want to share it.
Okay.
That anytime he goes, that separates from, had several wives or several wives, baby mama, and women, rather. Anytime he separates, he tells you, if you carry this pikin, come off for here. Don't bring this child back. Because once that child is not raised with him, he cannot connect.
Yeah.
He can never, even if the child comes back after how many years, he finds it difficult to connect.
So,
and for the sake of the children,
they leave the child.
They left their children. They left their children.
So there are two ways to look at that.
They left the children with the father.
Yes, they left the children with the father.
There are two ways to look at women like that.
Okay.
I mean, there are two different women. Yeah. There are those who would leave that because they feel that the father's role is very important.
Yeah.
Or maybe even has the financial capacity to take care of the children. To raise the child. But then there's another who says, I may not have as much as he has, but you, my child, you will always know your mother. I will be there so that you will know that I was there for you. Because the truth is, women have made some sacrifices, good or, on this side or on that side, and somehow it takes the grace of everything. Yes, it takes the grace of God for them to even understand.
Remember.
If you leave this child with the father, it's like you left me. You know the sort of man he was.
And you abandoned me here.
You abandoned without a mother, and I have a mother that is alive. Then if you take the child with you, it's like you denied me of my father's love. So the thing is,
whichever way,
difficult. A woman, that's why I feel that the respect for a mother and a woman is...
Okay, so leaving a child with the dad, the risk is very high because the father will maybe get married to another woman, and that's where you have stepmothers.
Both ways.
And then there's that maltreatment.
There's stepfathers too that molest children. Both ways, though. It's just the grace of God that you are able to really pay attention. And sometimes, for the women, most of the time, they sacrifice their relationships. They won't date. They will not date. They will not bring any man home because they don't want wahala till the child gets to a certain age. Maybe they now go to boarding house and all. So they sacrifice that aspect of their lives. Men don't do that sort of sacrifice because they will explain to you that they need somebody to cook for them. They need somebody to rub their back. They're always needing somebody. Even while they are putting their wife in the grave, there's a sissy beside rubbing back and saying, "Cry well, oh, don't worry, she's going to heaven." You know. So men sacrifice a lot when it comes to that, and that's why I would expect that as you are growing up to become a woman, you are ready for the decisions that you're making. As you are opening your leg, you are ready for the decisions that come with it. Yes.
You know
what
can
happen too.
Yes, because
and life can also happen.
Yes.
But if you intentionally do this, now you all know.
Many of us, as a married woman, you need to even be very careful because even this marriage is not, there's no guarantee. You can pack up. So you need to have you need to have money so that in case when it packs up, you'll be able to take care of the number of children that you bring to life. Don't go and be giving birth to 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, because there's money.
You understand?
Life happens, and I don't know how many of us were as aware or intelligent as we are now in our 20s, as teens. Some of us, even the men that we are married to, it just so happens that it worked out. Because if we were to look at the way that you did the choosing, it would have been really stupid. So life happens. But the thing is, when life has happened, that you're learning from it and you're doing better. And in conversations like this is where we're also talking to men as well as the society in general. A man can make many mistakes and somehow we forgive them. We're constantly forgiving them. He's a young boy. How old is he? He's in his 20s. Oh, he's a man. You know, oh, he's a celebrity. There's always a reason why a man can get away with bad behavior. But the woman, you're a woman.
You should know better.
You should have known better. And I just feel that we need to give people more grace. We need to have more understanding. And people... I've seen that people learn better from when we show them grace. When we show them that, you know, there's a different way. Because it's not just about her, it's about the many different women younger than her that are watching how we're treating this woman, you know. So, in this Davido Sophia's case, for me, it's not as... I'm not seeing two bad people. I'm seeing two people who are misunderstanding each other. And I think that their focus should come back to the child. And for this, make the sacrifices needed on both ends for the sake of the child.
Amazing.
And that of the same thing I would say, like YK reminded us, that the attention should be, what would the child, how would I want my child to grow up and not giving trauma to that child as well. On comments that we've seen on
I'm trying to take some messages.
In taking those messages, I would say that the place says, yes, take your child, but don't deny the father access to the child. Maturity is knowing how to co-parent without drama. And Jojo says Davido will turn his back on her and nothing the law can do to their daily case. We will sit and watch her cry on social media. Let Sophia take heed enough of the noise, according to the place. Hafsat said the child grew
unsympathetic.
Yes, very unsympathetic. But because we know the way in Nigeria, powerful people tend to get away with doing anything they want to do. I remember the time when there was the drama with the former Minister of Aviation. Oh, what's this man's name? There's this...
Which one?
It went viral that the woman was saying she didn't have access to her children. And it was because when you're very powerful in Nigeria, when you are very influential in Nigeria, you tend to get away with things that on a normal day you probably would not get away with. So I understand. It doesn't mean it is right, but that's
she also comes from quite a influential family,
clout as well. She has a bit of influence, being that she's... we don't know the I just know that she's a niece to Ile Momodu, and
at least it gives her some clout.
Leverage. Oluwabankole says, how many children Davido won't take care of? Yes. Fanny had a lot of drama with
the
baby mamas or wives.
With the wife and children, and it was really dramatic. Somebody else said, how many children do Davido wants to take care of? I don't know. As many as he has. There are many other, yes, as many as he can have.
Exactly.
He can take care of them. People are they negative comments.
Let me because I just remembered now.
Sophia.
Yes, when Miriam made comments, was giving an example of probably she wanted to, or she was having a program in school, and then it's Davido's turn to. I now remember that when you're two partners in raising the children, it's easy to make excuses. Daddy can't be here. Even when the child is in cities, daddy I want, daddy can't be here, daddy has to work, I'm coming, right? And you don't see it like you are overdoing because two of you are in a loving relationship. Now, when you're not in a loving relationship, that's when you're separating it. But Oga Komo, she wants to see you, you have to be there. I don't care whether you're doing a concert or not, she wants to see you, have to be there. If he was your husband in the house, will you tell him to leave the meeting? That would probably build him money.
Okay.
Or even the other way as well, So it's just about understanding. When you're able to put the child's needs first, even when you call, because the truth of the matter is, this man now is building another home. That presence that you want for your child, he will not be able to give you to the extent that you want it, except you are not being reasonable. Because he now has another woman. If the woman was like you, constantly calling him, he will not see space to smile at you. There are some women.
I have a question.
No, I'm just saying. If the woman in the house, if the woman in the house is as forceful and territorial as you are, he may not even have an opportunity to see your child.
Okay.
I
get what you're saying. But remember, we're talking of someone he's not in a marriage with. So I'm not talking of two wives. We're talking of someone
one is outside and one is inside.
And there's a child
involved.
The
same thing.
Good. My question is, you're saying that he may not have the time to give your child.
Yes.
It's his child.
I know.
He should carry the child and put in his...
You are forgetting the woman factor in the house.
No, that's what I'm saying. Now remove husband, daddy, babies, whatever, and put father.
Yeah.
Why would you give less to this child?
They happen. I know
that they happen. What I'm saying is that you can try. Listen to what I'm trying to ask. Is that yes, this is something that happens that we are accepting.
Yes.
Can we change the narrative? Can we make people see that
he try and balance it?
Yes, he can. That should be the goal. He does not need the mother for him to give his daughter more of that he needs to give her, even if it's presence. What if he's constantly going for the children of the one in the house for their activities and never makes the time for this?
But that will happen.
No,
it will happen.
It will happen.
I just want to reality.
It will happen.
It will happen. It will happen. But it will happen. I'm not saying it will not happen.
Okay.
It will even happen on the other end
as well.
But it will happen if we also understand that it can happen because issues happen. Not it will happen, so take it. Or that is how it happens.
No, I'm not saying take it.
No, that's what a lot of times when we discuss, that's what we push. That's what we say. Take it. It may happen. Manage it. What we see, or in both movies at least, I don't know their realities, is that the co-parenting involves father, mother in the house and the one outside.
Yes,
so that this child does not feel excluded, does not feel that daddy is doing so much more for those who are right beside him. And that is why they talk about the compromise between the parents. Because if you are in his way too much, he may not be able to include this child with the other children. So, but because we always say it as if it's a given that the man will not really be there because he's starting another family. That's not a healthy...
But how is it there as Nigeria? Let me take this call, please. Then I'll come to two of you.
That's what the society tells us.
Nina
from Jos.
All of us, but we can't... He's not the video that will change.
You people will face the wall.
Sorry.
Nina from Jos. Sorry about that.
Can we ask him how Flavor is doing his own? Because Flavor has baby mamas.
No, they don't come on social media.
They don't come on social, so you don't know.
How is Timaya doing his own?
Oh, no.
How is Wizkid managing his own?
We don't know.
So I think at the end of the day, the reason we are discussing Davido is because they
bring it out
matter to us. And sometimes, when you say it's inside your house that you will eat the kidiko, like there's a Yoruba proverb that you will eat it inside your house. It's not when you bring it outside, you make everybody, you put your life and your story into everybody will be chiming in what they want to. To a large extent, the family unit is too important. And if we don't get it right in the family unit, we have children that have dysfunction, traumatic children that are throwing trauma into the next generation. So it's important that protect your family, get the healing necessary, get the support necessary in-house. When you bring on social media, majority of those that are out there, they're not after your interest. They're just after, we want topics.
They're catching cruise,
Your story.
So thank you, ladies. What we are taking out of this is make the child the focus. Child-centered, yes. Whatever you have to do, if you have to swallow your pride with ogbono soup, please do that for the sake of the child.
Soup is expensive now.
Yes, you try okra but we need something draw to swallow the pride and the ego. Yeah, that's all we can take on this segment. When we come back, we take yet another topic. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the grand comedian of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Gbenga Adeyinka the First. OJ right here, 7 of 7, like you already know.
Gbenga right here, 7 of 7, like I'm beginning to know.
It's now time for the questions.
You don't scare me one bit. Bata, I go drink. So.
Okay. So now one chance for enter. My first question. Do you remember the names of the winners of that edition of StarQuest?
Of course I do.
Why do you?
And I hate myself for this. Because I have this question for you. Final question. No. Where outside Nigeria and what year? I think you're the only one that can be wicked.
I am thinking because I know back in the day.
Don't think. Answer my question quick. You are thinking too much. I don't like it.
The UK.
Final answer. Okay. I said, God, please, let me to perform outside Nigeria.
Wait.
And God gave me a show in Ghana.
Thanks for staying with us. So we saw another story on social media from Kel Thoughts, and this story goes: I sent my wife packing last month, and instead of her to go to her parents' house, she went to stay at her friend's place. I heard that she just rented her own apartment. I was hoping for her to come and beg with her parents, but nothing. I was worried, so I called her parents to find out what was happening. And they said I should finalize the divorce fast. They asked for my account number to send the bride price into. I'm confused because when they sent my sister packing some time ago, we went to beg and settle with her husband. I didn't mean to divorce her. I just wanted to teach her a lesson. Will I sound stupid? If I do, I don't want to lose my wife. I just wanted to teach her a small lesson. Biko, advise me. Biko, what advice do we have for this man who decided to send his wife packing because he wanted to teach her a lesson? Let me come to the ladies. What are your thoughts on this?
Someone commented on that post. He said, you want to teach somebody a lesson that you need to learn. So he was trying to teach her a lesson and he got schooled. Got schooled while trying to teach somebody a lesson.
Hey!
I said, if you don't want to eat something, don't smell it. If you don't want divorce, then why do you send your wife packing? Because in the first place, the idea of you sending your wife packing means
that you're tired.
You are willing to. And you know, another thing, it's another indication of you don't know how well you are standing. You're not balanced. You're not started jumping. You never balance. You have not carried yourself very well. You're now trying out things. Because I feel that if the relationship was on a very great note, maybe has with the in-laws, the reaction would have been different. So people are already waiting for you
to mess up.
They want you to lose. You don't decide to forget. You block your ear. So you've given them opportunity to take advantage of what they want to do. So I feel really bad for him because I guess he copied wrong.
Yes.
You know, he had a template, and the template
and then when he was pasting it, he just scattered.
Terrible. It's a funny story.
What do you think about this?
So he's seeking for solution, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm just going to tell him is Gashina Amun has come to his face. So what he needs to do is he should go and beg. He should go and beg. And Islamically, if you just pronounce divorce, whether you mean it or you don't mean it, it stands. Jokingly or not, it stands. So she must spend that 3 months.
Which is good.
3 months outside the house. She must do it before she comes back. So you don't even joke with it. So you need to be very sure before you pronounce it.
Yeah, I agree.
You have to be very sure before you pronounce it. So the only thing he can do is, like I said, he'll go and beg and maybe carry another bride price and top up.
USD this time around.
You gotta top up. Yes, just do top up.
Do you know why I like that in Islam? Is that it teaches you how powerful words are.
Yes.
That there are some boundaries or there's a line that you should not cross. Some people throw that divorce word up and down as
anyhow,
you know, and you have commonized it in your conversations with your partners to the point that it means nothing. And but you know, I found it funny because there are two things that made me laugh, because you know, in many ways you can relate. When he says I'm confused, you know, I just felt like bros, many of us have been in those confusing situations where you've done something and you think the outcome is different from what you expect. But, you know, I just went to go and check a few quotes for you about when you feel stupid, what you should do. And I like this one. It says, it's okay to look stupid than to be stupid. And what it means is that you may look stupid. You want your wife back. You didn't mean for her to leave. And so going back to ask, you may look stupid, but the wise thing to do is what you are going to do, which is to go and ask for your wife back and have the conversation of, you know, was not the outcome that I was expecting. I was hoping that this issue, we have dealt with it so much, and I was hoping that if I had gone this far, it would push you, it would make you realize that we have, you know, it has gotten to a point where I could not take it anymore. I didn't really mean for you to leave. And then she can say to you, next time, for me, these words are so important to me that the moment you say it, I will take you seriously. So then you learn in your conversations with each other that this is not a word that you throw around.
Though.
You know, because for some people it's easy. I go divorce you, I divorce you. I go throw you. And you laugh about it. In other homes, it means nothing. They laugh about it. But in another home, when you say especially those English-speaking houses, divorce. You said the divorce word.
You said the D word.
You said the D word, and so it's done. Uncle, however you beg, they say, we have it on camera, we have it on this, we show it in court. So please, just learn. So I think communication is important. You know our way, culturally, there's a way that we do things, even with the way we raise our children. We use some words we're not meant to use because we hope that they would respond a different way. And then when they respond the way we have the word, we are shocked. See this foolish child, put it on my head, bring water, and then the child puts it on your head, you're in trouble. So let's learn, you know, who we are with each other, the sort of communications that, you know, it's enriching. That is, and there's a word that
we're just saying this when we're watching there was a clip on TV during Wake Up Nigeria that we're saying that this kind of conversations, we shouldn't normalize it within our country. Where people use foul language. Oh, carry your stupid head away.
Yeah.
Or like you just use, and it's in your mind, you think it's a normal thing. Yeah. That's the same thing, like, oh, pack your load and go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I pack my load and I go, and you're wondering, why did I pack my load and go? Yeah. We should be careful of what we say, that what we're saying must edify, and what we're saying we can stand by it with your full chest, that if anything happens, I can take the repercussion. This man has said something now that he was thinking will have a different result.
And there's a reason why he did it.
Yes, there was a template he had seen. So sometimes you see some things, you go to some house and you see a reaction. A man says, if you don't need them and give me the food, you will leave this house. And then the woman kneels down. You go to your house and say, if you don't need them and give me the food, you will leave this house. The woman carries her bag and pours on your head. Or carry paper. You'll be wondering, but my friend said it like this. He walks how they left it. And they knelt down. How come when I say it over?
That is not how Richard Davido did it in the movie. In the movie, when he said it, you pack out. She came back and was begging.
When he divorced her, he sat and he was waiting for them to come. I'm very sure he just go and open the door and be looking out for the parents.
No,
they come.
They've not come. What
they've not come. That's why he has come out.
Saying, send us your account details.
Hey, God, I beg.
Oh my God.
So,
honestly,
I think he overrated himself.
Wow.
This overconfidence, we just all need to check it from time to time. Because I've realized in this life, nobody's indispensable. Anybody can be forgotten.
Yes.
Anybody can be done away with. So when you get to that point where you now feel you are now the otokinadu, the all in all, I can do this. Once you remove me, it will never be the same again. I change your life. Once you, it will shock you. Secondly, I also feel he was not sensitive. So you know how a lot of women take some things and they are silent about it. Probably because they do not have a voice, or just for peace sake, they are not able to pursue a matter to a logical conclusion. They just leave it. And then you ignore those signs. They let it go. Every small misbehavior, they let it go. I'm sure this is not the first time he's saying this. He may have been saying it, and this particular time, this woman say, enough is enough. And when you start saying things like that without any, people are not reacting. Right? You think they are letting the matter go. Not everybody lets the matter go. They now start making other plans and start finding other options. Yes. So any small thing where I do, this man go say, make I pack my things. Or this man go say, because now they give me money where they spend. Or because now they do this one. People now start, you give them ample time to prepare themselves. They now start keeping things, start making plans. And so that one day, maybe I've said it 12 times, the 13th time, the person is done. The person is ready. This one just showed readiness.
You know why I'm laughing?
Why?
This is the sort of person who will check her account one day and say, "Ha! My wife has millions of dollars."
Yes, so.
Meanwhile, he has forgotten. He has been telling her, "Pack your load and leave the house."
We have a caller.
I know before he.
Obonaya from. Good morning, Obonaya, Anambra State. Good morning.
Okay, I'm just listening to your discussion.
Thank you. Can you speak up, please?
His wife to leave his house. My take on this is that it's obvious that the man is not doing well. Because if he's doing well, even his in-laws will not support his wife. And but as it is, I think the woman has ever had enough of him. Yeah. So even if he's going back to bed, I think he's going to live in perpetual slavery for the rest of his life, because his ego as a man has already been deflated, because the woman has had enough of him. And so for her to comfortably move on with her life, rent a house, and his in-laws says, facilitate divorce, means from the beginning, the relationship is very faulty. He has either not been treating her very well, and the in-laws are tired of him, and the wife is also tired. So the best thing is for him to make his move and move on with his life. The wife is tired. If he brings her back, then he doesn't have a say in that house anymore. He has lost his place as a man. That's my take on this.
If she's a strong woman who knows her worth, you know, sometimes we start waking up into who we really are, right? In that marriage, yes. And she's come to a point where she now knows what she wants and what she doesn't want, what she can take and what she cannot take. When he now comes back, and probably because of the sake of the children, she decides, okay, he's coming back to his senses, let me consider him. They will now bring out a long notebook. You will not do this again. You will not do that again. Yes, you will not do this again. Yes. And you will sign. Because anyone you do here now, I will carry my things and that is it. The man will now realize that, oh, so these are some of the things you've been taking, you didn't like, but you didn't have a choice, probably because of how we started that marriage. And, you know, it will humble him. it's a humbling moment for him. And if he's really serious about keeping his home, it's a lesson he should learn. Yeah.
And you know, before you pronounce that divorce, you're even supposed to have gone to meet maybe her parents. You're supposed to meet, you know,
He just
report
want
her
triumph, small
and,
play.
You know, play don't turn to Yazama Abung, Yazama Ganga.
So, like Bisi said, reevaluating the relationship. I think that sometimes they said when you almost, there's a word, when you have a near-death experience, like when you confront death, you come back from it with a new appreciation of the life you have.
Yeah.
Similarly, when you confront a near, like a
Near
divorce,
separation.
experience, you will come back to realize how beautiful your marriage is.
True.
So I do not think that there's anything wrong with him, you know, taking the humble pie and going to meet his wife, because like I now understand what I had and I don't want to lose it.
Yeah.
It does not belittle him. It doesn't mean that she will now become proud in that marriage, because who knows what she's also thinking in her mind. So you might be thinking in your mind that she has moved on completely, but she's thinking in her mind that if this man can do this to me, if I go back and beg him, the day he would throw me out again, I might not have the money to be able to even find my footing. So it's a moment for both of them to come back together and reassess the marriage that they have, appreciate the marriage. They've got to near death, they've seen it. This is what it will look like if we go apart. And do we like it? Can we find a way to make it work better? I think it's an opportunity for them that many marriages never get. Many marriages will have gotten far better if they had that near divorce experience and they're able to come back from it. So I think this is a good...
We don't have to get there.
I pray that
we don't know,
I think don't appreciate life until you're almost
we're there.
You like, they'll give you, they say, eat healthy. Don't drink this one. So, you know, when they give you red card, when you go for text and they tell you your text that you are quarter to die, all of them will now start. So the near-death experience actually has it.
Yeah. You know what?
I just play that he's
remember with women as well. Haven't you heard of women who leave the house because we're hoping the man will come and
beg them?
2 weeks. And she eats the humble pie. She carries her bag. She goes back and he opens the door. He sees her. You are back. And he lets her in quietly. And life continues. But then you find in situations like that, when they talk about each other, they'll be like, don't ever use the D word with my wife. Or that's the end. Because that's learned lessons. She'll be like, never threaten to leave because that is the end. So you learn something. You know how they say that it's in tough situations that, just as you said, that growth happens.
Yeah.
So marriages, you know, many times when we talk about marriages, for those who are young and unmarried, I don't want them to think that it's always boom, 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 boom. Love, hate, fights, no fight. You know, we have fun sometimes. Sometimes this sort of stories we're laughing about because in different ways they have played out in our homes.
Yes, so we've seen
funny,
it. I have my own story.
And we move from there, we grow from there, we become better spouses to each other from this sort of thing.
Yeah, let's take a breather here. When we come back, we wrap up the conversation. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Give me a Risco tomato instead. I go give you imported tomato. Be like saying that people like you, the wicked our country people. You see this Risco, Richiku or Machiku, They take correct natural ingredients, make them.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports,
Thanks for staying with us. So I have a comment here from Akanitai. We say, Jokapato, the in-law self need to be checked. How fast that can they be? Then Lola says, no, Lola, there's another one. Mr. Peppo says, even with culture, bride price isn't just returned like that. The in-law self get winch. So it's very possible that the in-laws are already tired.
Well, let me read this.
Okay, read another one.
See how some people think. Ogumola Emmanuel says, relationship is a mind game. And the one with the upper hand controls the relationship. the man just lost his leadership and position as the head because he played a wrong card and has to be the one begging now. He overestimated himself.
Yes, he did.
Maybe the wife is also playing his game. So that's why I was saying earlier that marriage is not always like that. Sometimes we have fun, sometimes we make mistakes, and it's not a card you play your card. Or maybe I'm just the one that sees life that way.
No, I think so. I think that for healthy marriage requires that there are those middle grounds where
you don't push people to.
I did not know that you were going to react like that. You know, like I'm not cooking for you today. I'm not cooking for you this weekend. Don't touch me throughout this week. Uncle, it's already Friday. But you say don't touch. I did not mean it like that. I was just saying don't touch. Like I was thinking,
not with pack out of my house.
Probably that's what he misses.
No, not with pack. So there are some jokes we should not do or should not give. There are some jokes that are extreme, and you don't know how the joke touches on the person's insecurity.
Yes.
The person could have come from a home where the father is always chased. Let me give you people an instance. So every time my father got upset when I was growing up, he said, "You will leave my house. You will leave my house."
Who will he tell you?
Me.
Oh, okay.
No, he was telling everybody, but he would tell me too. So one day I decided to run away because they kept saying I should leave their house.
Yes.
I ran. I think I've shared that story. Got to the police station. Stayed all day, you know. When they now came to report a missing person, they now saw that was the last time he said it. Because that sort of was hitting something. Why would my father say I should leave his house because he's upset? And then tomorrow he comes back again and remembers I'm his first daughter. I wasn't having it. So, and even in my relationships, there are some jokes I don't take. From the beginning, I clear you. No go here, because you will not like what you will see at the other side. So maybe that also hits. So we also need to pay attention to our people to see what they can take and what everything is not play.
Yesterday, Shonake says communication and control is important in relationships. Throwing a woman out is very humiliating to the woman.
Yes,
and I think that a lot of our Nollywood movies
show that.
Or skits on social media make it look like, oh, I sent her packing.
I sent her packing.
From which house?
Yes.
And the tide is changing. So sometimes we are giving men a template that is wrong on how to deal with a situation they are feeling. If you are uncomfortable with your wife, you have a conversation. But because the template you have seen on social media back to back and movies is that you send packing, then the woman comes back and beg. You will think you will run that same program in your house. But your wife has a different template. So I think it's important that we build the resilience and the capacity to iron out tough discussions. Like this
without going to the extreme.
We will not insult each other, but like, I don't agree with this one. This is what I believe should have been done. These are the ways we could have done it. These are options. We will be discussing it like back to back and no insults. There is no, I don't belittle you, but we are able to discuss and then we now laugh at the end of the day and say, okay, I see your point. Like we discuss on this show.
You know, I think I might have mentioned it to you that one of the issues I used to have with older Nollywood movies, things have changed, was that our conversation was fight and laugh. Like there's no in between anger and joy. Just everything
is fight.
Basic emotions.
There's nothing in between. No nuances, no jokes, no whatever. And that is what we carry into our house. So that's why someone may think it's a card game. I play my card, you play your card, this last card, this, you know, because that's what we see constantly around us, all the movies that we watch. But there are different forms of, there are different emotions. There are different kinds of communication. Not all communication about something you don't like has to be in anger. Not all communication about something you don't like has to be end in fight. You know, there's some communications you can have that is casual, but you still send the message.
Or threats.
Yeah, not everything has to be a threat. You know, we can still show our displeasure for things without it being overly exaggerated. And I would like to see more of that, you know, in our conversations in Nollywood movies and even the skits, because even those tough, exaggerated conversations, what we laugh at is supposed to be
so
funny.
we normalize it.
And we have normalized it so much that
it goes into the subconscious.
If a man goes
and
into a relationship and the man is not saying, get out with your big head, we don't think he loves, she does not think he loves her.
But this one could be a step. You know, the way he said the divorce, yes, and now he has learned his lessons. I just pray that he will not let his ego play. He should just...
No, the way he's sounding,
yes. Yes. I'm sure he missed a lot of
He
things.
will miss her.
You don't miss. Maybe no food.
He came on social media to say...
Abubuadin is not happening.
Nobody's disturbing him, nothing.
The room activities
it's not happening.
It's not happening. You're like, please.
Nobody to gist with, nobody to lament with,
nothing.
nothing. No.
So yeah.
Somebody said you the place says you send person where fit buy house parking. They play.
They play.
They are
playing. That's another
dangerous play.
Yes, well, that's another level. We have to tell the truth. So men, the women of now, they're not like before. There are some things that you cannot use to threaten them again. Let me just tell you this secret. You cannot use house to threaten them again. They have houses, or they have enough money in their account to get the house. Or they have one house that they have been renting on the side because you have been throwing that word and they are waiting for you to make the mistake so that they
move in.
They can pay the children's school fees.
Yes.
They can travel.
Yes.
So you need to be careful. This young boy says
calm down.
This is a new breed of women.
I'm telling you.
Not like your mother's type.
They are taking no prisoners.
Yes.
I had a friend recently who threatened me. We just she was explaining some things and we got into a bit of an argument. And the next thing she said, well, no, if he's going to scatter, let it scatter. We will not even be friends again. I said, are you threatening me? Because there's only one way I react to threats.
Fight.
Yeah. No, not fight.
Take it.
I move. Yes, I walk away. So I asked the guest, is this a threat? Are you actually threatening me?
No,
she not cut herself.
It's not a threat, it's a promise.
We are done. And we are done now.
And then they leave.
And I walk away.
And you know why I would respond that way? Because I see it's a Nollywood movie.
Yeah.
They'll not show where, like, no, I didn't mean it was as a threat. I was just trying to express myself. But I know that once they say it's a threat, you say it's not a threat.
It's not a threat, it's a
promise.
It's a promise.
There we go.
And then the music that will play at the background.
We're watching the movies, we are watching the skits, and we're accepting this narrative and this conversational style as our norm or our culture. And sometimes we just end up saying it. You know the way they say that when you were growing up, you end up, as an adult, you end up saying the things your mom said or saying the things your father said.
Yes.
Disciplining your children and
the
they are
same
repeating the line your parents said. For you to know how, and these are things they said 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And yet, when you want to discipline them, I will give you backhand. Where did you hear how to give backhand?
From your mom.
Or I'll conk your head. It's not knuckle, it's the conk you use because that was what you heard.
True.
So we need to, our movies need to show more wholesome content.
Yeah.
Series should show more wholesome content. Let's have content that shows family being happy. And let's stop laughing unnecessarily over silly things that we will not take ourselves. If you see somebody slapping or beating or pushing somebody out of the house and we're laughing at it on social media, it means that, and you cannot take it. Somebody is sowing a seed in somebody's life and they might end up doing the same thing as well. So it's just being careful.
So,
Oga, go and beg your wife.
Swallow your pride, though.
Swallow your pride.
Everybody has to swallow pride from today's
bring your wife back.
Swallow the pride and beg your wife.
Sophia and Davido is a swallowing pride situation.
Everybody just needs to calm down. Stop using such words.
Ego is the enemy.
Ego.
You know, to just bamboozle your wife because you bought house. If, in fact, as a matter of fact, now they're supposed to kick come up for the house. Who they sweep the house, who they clean them, who they care for, you know how the plumbing work they go.
You're going to come back to the house now and be sweeping and cleaning and cooking because you have not done anything since she's left.
Exactly, I'm sure.
Not done anything.
I'm sure
there are plenty places.
So that's kind of thing. There was a scene I did in Mama Jiro then. After he misbehaved, you know, by the time he came to beg, he massaged me.
Yes.
I put my leg on the chair, he massaged me, he cooked for me, he fed me.
That's how it should be.
That was his punishment.
Breakfast.
It's still too small, but
you can manage it because of love. Can manage it. Thank you so much, ladies. It's been fun. We've had fun today on the issues, and the takeaway, like Tokwe finalized, is that we all need to eat the humble pie. We all need to bring ourselves, you know, especially when we're dealing with our partners, hold space for them, understand, and make sure that the child is the one that we are, you know, putting first in every of our decisions. And by the grace of God, we'll pull through, you know, on the co-parenting thing and also on the begging our wife matter. That's all we can take on the show today. Your View Paging continues tomorrow. See you again next week. Bye-bye now.